Good luck and high five, my friendos. It has been a very long week here at GLHF HQ, and I wanted to talk about my trip to Indianapolis for Gen Con 2019. The best 4 days in gaming started for us on Wednesday as we arrived after a total of nearly 11 hours in the car. My traveling partner and I stood in line for 90 minutes to get his badge. From there, we embarked on day after day of interviews, long nights, game demos, and both dubious and tasty food. What results here is a list of my top 10 games of the con in no particular order. It's also important to note that with thousands of games, demos, booths, and events, it's impossible to see everything. So if I missed your favorite game of the con, or passed over the game you're drooling over, please call it out in the comments and let people know about it. That being said, let's get into it, shall we? First up is Shobu from SMIRK and DAGGER. This insanely elegant and simple stone-moving game struck me from the minute I saw it on the show floor. The idea is that two players alternate turns moving two of their colored stones 1 or 2 spaces in any direction, making the same move on 2 of the boards. The first player to eliminate the other player's stones from 2 boards of opposing colors wins. It played fast when I saw it, and the production quality is outstanding, using actual stones of varying size and shape. It's easy to have this title get lost in the sea of abstract 2-player games, but the key here is just how simple it is to learn and play, but with enough strategy to really be able to sink your teeth into. Next up is Watergate from CAPSTONE. Making a strong push for Developer of the Year, both with Pipeline and this title, Watergate is a 2-player card-driven game dripping with theme from the end of the Nixon administration. It's asymmetrical, with each player taking on the mantle of either the Washington Post, trying to physically make a path from 2 of the informants to Nixon, or Nixon himself trying to block off connections and survive the rest of his term. It's an incredibly taut game with plenty of replay value, and as a fan of history, there's lots here to take in. After a few plays, Nixon seems to have the slight edge, but with cards themselves being able to use either for their value or their text, the game can turn very, very quickly for the Post. Parks from KEYMASTER. This is an absolutely phenomenal walking simulator in the vein of Tokaido from designer Henry Audubon. KEYMASTER has a pedigree of gorgeous games, and Parks raises that bar as if it were even possible. The idea here is that you and up to 4 friends are hiking through America's national parks, taking only photos and leaving only footprints. At the end of 4 seasons, the hikers with the most points gained by purchasing park cards with accumulated resources wins. The comparison to Tokaido is apt, as currently occupied locations are sort of blocked off from you, and the round ends when you all reach the end of the trail. Parks gives you less scattershot things to focus on, however, and increases your focus on efficiency as you try to score park cards. Next up is Paint the Roses from North Star Games. I got a sneak preview of this title in my interview with North Star, and I think it's going to be a huge hit when it hits Kickstarter next year. Each player is playing gardeners in the Red Queen's hedges, trying to signal to their fellow workers while being chased by the decapitating obsessed Reina Roja. You're going to be choosing one of the 4 available tiles at the bottom of the board and placing them according to your own rule, which can be any of varying difficulty. You'll place a tile and then announce how many of the touching tiles follow your rule. It's part logic puzzle, part tile laying, fully cooperative, and with a theme that I'm very into. Bruce from North Star Games describes the difficulty like this. If you're bad at this game, she's going to chop your head off very early. If you're good at this game, she's going to be on your tail right up until the very end. It's good enough for me. Anomaly from STARLING Games. This one versus many game set on a starship comes from another house that's building on a few huge hits in a row with Everdell and Archmage. This holy crap, how gorgeous is that game picks 4 students on a science space station against each other because one of them is the Anomaly and predictably trying to kill the rest. The cards in the game are double action, doing different things based on whose hand they're in. Spending cards as the kids means giving them to the Anomaly, and as the creature you have to very delicately balance being aggressive with maximizing your actions. Playing in just an hour, this game looks amazing on the table and provides some excellent decision making. Starling keeps making bangers, and I'm excited to get this one to my table. Unmatched from MONDO Games. My apologies right off the top here, as my phone seems to have lost the video I took of this game, which is a huge shame. This is a functional reimaging of an old Star Wars title, Epic Duels, but borrowing line of sight rules from Tannhauser. Basically, you're going to be recruiting characters from literature, popular TV and films, and even history, throwing them into an arena and having them battle it out. Currently announced characters are Bigfoot, Bruce Lee, Robin Hood, King Arthur, characters from Jurassic Park, Alice in Wonderland, and the selling feature for me personally, main characters from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, including Buffy, Willow, Spike, and Angel. This game sold out every day in less than 10 minutes, and not just on the strength of the source material. The lead designers are Rob Davio, J.R. Honeycutt, and Justin D. Jacobson. Don't sleep on this one, fam. We're doomed from breaking games. As ridiculous as it is innovative, this just might have been the most jaw-achingly hilarious game of the con for me. I don't want to spoil too much of the awesomeness by over-explaining, as part of the charm really lies in the simplicity. You and your fellow gamers, up to 10 of you, are responsible for the creation of a rocket ship to escape Earth, which is dying in exactly 15 minutes. There's an elegant sand timer which times your games, meaning that you're never going to have a game go long. The amount of resources contributed by all players dictates how many seats there are on the ship, but your place in line is determined by your prestige. Balance them carefully but quickly. The game, as well as human nature, are fighting against you. We laughed almost solidly the length of each of the games we played of this and always wanted more. Extraordinary Adventures Pirates from Forbidden Games. Longtime fans of the show know that if Forbidden Games announces a new title, it means you should sit bolt upright in your chair and take notice. I'm waiting for the day they produce a game that's anything less than outstanding, but today is not that day. Extraordinary Adventures from designers Don Beyer and Glenn Drover is a 3-track racing game with some set collection and deck building thrown in for lulz. The board is a bit of a table hog, and they even had a bigger neoprene mat board on display at the con. Forbidden always manages to toe the line perfectly between gateway games and titles that have enough to chew on for long-time gamers. Pirates delivers on both of those fronts. You never feel like you're out of it, and the component quality is up to their usual par. They even got Disney artist Mark Page to contribute. I mean, just look at it. Namiji from FunForge. Perhaps there's a theme here where I'm struck by walking simulators. Namiji is, while not a direct sequel to Tokaido, it's made by the same company and is nearly the same game with some tweaks. There's still a ton of options to choose from on your turn, and you're still going to have everyone stop every so often and draft a card from a stack of them, only now, instead of cruising around Japan, you're sailing across the ocean. There's press your luck drawing from a bag, assembling sea mammals, puzzle elements through net fishing, and most importantly for me, no more money used to buy food or contribute to shrines, by far my least favorite part of Tokaido. This is a less cutthroat competition, but still equally beautiful and serene. Fans of the original should take a dip in these waters. Die Hard from the OP. The thing that surprised me the most about putting this game on my list was just how many gamers dislike licensed games. I get the complaint, but the OP definitely avoids sacrificing gameplay for fan service in Die Hard Nakatomi Heist. The game is divided cleanly into 3 acts, strongly mirroring the film. The thieves are trying to crack the lock and escape so they can lie on a beach, earning 20%. And John is trying to find a radio and a machine gun, ho ho ho, nabbing an ill-fitting pair of shoes, collect the explosives and the detonators, throw them down an elevator shaft, and save the hostages. The modular board unfolds to the climax of the game, and I love this one from jump. The art style and gameplay are nearly perfect. Fans of the movie shouldn't be disappointed. And now a bonus surprise game of the con. This is Windward from El Dorado Games. This game didn't make my top 10, but it did completely blindside me, so I wanted to share it. El Dorado Games, who make the Island of El Dorado and the expansion Thieves of El Dorado, have come up with an airship whaling game of astounding production quality. You and your friends are admirals of a fleet of both small and large airships, which fittingly can only move based on the ever-changing wind. There's a marker in the center of the board which denotes which way the wind is blowing, and you'll constantly have to be adjusting to it. There are space whales all across the board, and you'll be hunting them because reasons I'm not clear about yet. The execution, theme, and idea are all so wonderful that I couldn't let it go unmentioned. This list only scratches the surface of some of the great stuff I saw at Gen Con. So again, if I missed your favorite game or one that you think deserved to be here, please let me know in the comments below. Look for most of these games to be covered more in depth in future reviews on this channel, so if you love the look of these, please do us both a favor and tap that subscribe button. Thank you. We'll be providing links in the description below for all the developers listed here, so pay them a visit as well. As always, I'm Nicholas, reminding you to help protect the game population. Always sleeve your cards. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed that video, please hit that sub button and check out all of our other offerings at goodluckhighfive.com. And please consider becoming a patron of the channel at patreon.com/GLHFmagic and help us keep making reviews, videos, and podcasts for as little as $5 a month. We're also always looking for new games to review, so if you make games or you know a company who does and wants to have their game reviewed on Good Luck High Five, please reach out to us at glhf@goodluckhighfive.com and we'd be happy to take a look. You can follow me, Captain N the Game Master, on Twitter and Instagram at CaptainNGM, and follow the channel at GLHF Magic. Remember, please shop at your local game store whenever possible. Until next time, I'm Nicholas, and good luck, high five.